I'm Rachel here with Ari, and we're your hosts for the Merry Writer podcast. This week we're on episode 268, and we're asking, should authors be on AllAuthor? Before we start, if you enjoy the show, consider checking out our coffee page. You can follow the page for free as we have plenty of goodies for all. And if you're feeling generous, a one-off donation will get you access to more treats, or you can become a Merry Writer for just $2 a month. For this, you'd get access to all the items in our shop, including exclusive goodies, as well as access to monthly bonuses, all while helping to support our podcast. But if that's not your style and you still enjoy the show, then please subscribe wherever you're listening if you're not already, and consider dropping us a like if you're watching on YouTube. So I wanted to discuss AllAuthor because in episode 252, we kind of shit on it a little bit, which really wasn't fair of us because neither one of us have ever tried AllAuthor before. But at first glance, it just didn't sound appealing. So we didn't say some nice things about it, and I decided why not give it an actual try. And I originally heard of AllAuthor from Cassie Sanchez. She was a guest on episode 94, so a long time ago, but she was the one, she's on AllAuthor, and I had never heard of it before. So for this episode, I wanted to discuss AllAuthor because now that I've recently released a book, I figured now is a good time to give this social media platform for authors a try. I don't even know if you could consider it a social media platform, but anyway, what is AllAuthor? It's just a book platform for authors, and it's kind of like Goodreads, but it's more for authors than it is for readers. You can create your profile, add your books with tier buy links, fill in your bio, add your social media links. There's an AMA section you can fill out where others can ask you questions, and AllAuthor has default questions that you can answer just to fill it up a little bit. And there's also a contact form. And I mean, that's it. That's your profile. So if you join AllAuthor as an author, what exactly can you do? You don't update your status or add photos or anything like that. So in that sense, it's not exactly like social media, but you can visit other authors' profiles and make connections and network. For example, there is an author directory where you can search authors by genre, and of course, there's a book directory. And AllAuthor also has services such as featuring your book, promotional plans, and more. They have tools like a review GIF maker, GIF banners, and mockups are also included. But that's as long as if you join their membership. There's a static image creator you can use for quotes and teasers, and that's free, but it's bare bones, like very simplified compared to Canva. If you're on a platform like Canva, you can do a lot more with it than utilize AllAuthor's free tool. And finally, there's also a monthly book cover contest, each month showcasing a different genre. So that's another fun way to find authors and their books. One of their prizes for winning is a membership to AllAuthor.
So it does sound like you get quite a bit of things if you remember, and we'll talk about like how much that's going to cost you. But at the same time, it is a bit weird, as you said, because it's like it's not really social media because you're not like sharing constantly like threads and posts and things. But at the same time, it must be. I do like the idea of having a connection to authors specifically. I'm assuming you would have to be a published author for this, or would it? Are there aspiring authors, or is it like no? Once you've published, once you have your books, you can then fill everything in. Do we know what that whether that's the thing?
Wait, say that again?
Do you have to have been a published author and list your books? It's like is it Amazon Central? Amazon Author Central. I think you have
Oh,
to have a book to create Amazon Author Central. I think is all
yeah.
author like that where you have to be a published author. It's not like you can be aspiring and put it on there, and then as eventually when your books come out, you can put them on.
No, you're right. You have to be a published author. Because when I created my account late October, early November, because that's when Apparitions Anonymous came out, and they don't publish your profile unless it's filled out like a certain percentage. Like my profile is only filled out 86% because I didn't include a Facebook link or Twitter link because I don't have those things. So you have to fill out like a certain amount of things for them to even look at your profile, and then they have to approve it. So yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah, you have to be a published author in order to create an AllAuthor account. So I mean, that's the other thing. Because it's more for authors than it is for readers, you can add by links to your books, but I feel like you would want to It's kind of the weird thing about marketing on social media. A lot of authors, they follow other authors, but you really want to be following readers and book reviewers, and you want to cater to that audience. You don't want to cater to other authors. And yeah, the networking is great, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of, I don't know, AllAuthor, and I'll discuss this more, but AllAuthor is kind of like a hit or miss for me because you want to engage with other authors, but a lot of the authors on there from my experience, they're so focused on promoting their own books that they're not necessarily looking to network or connect with other authors because they're already so well established. As a itty bitty indie author like myself, it's very easy for me to get lost in that crowd.
I'm wondering then, because of how you've explained what you've got, you've got your profile, book tiers with bio links, you've got a bio, social media links, and an AMA section. I feel like it's almost as if it's a mini website, like a pay, like a so not every author might have a website, which you should have, people. If you can, even if it's a free website, we 100% recommend that. But if you don't, I could imagine at least having an all author website that an all author page and profile that you can link to. So that if someone is looking for you, like the reader, and you put that, say, in your link tree or on your link on Instagram or something like that, at least it takes them to your bio, your bio links, your social media, and it's almost like a little mini website. I can see that being the only way to actually get readers. And I know people always say it's like authors are readers too, and of course they are. But it's one of those things where it's yes, there's nothing wrong with following authors and having authors follow you, and yes, definitely. But we really do need readers, like full on just readers. The people who have more time because they're not writing books, so they can read the books. Because authors, even if authors read a lot, they write. So there's times when they're not reading because they're writing. So maybe if you can find more readers, they won't have as much time writing. They'll be reading and they'll be consuming way more books. So, but yeah, that's the only thing I can think it would be useful for creating like a mini website almost, and then having the links, and that's how you get readers to find out about you and maybe go to your bio links.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. It is kind of like a mini website for you. And the thing is, if you do join the membership tier, you can customize your profile a lot more. I have no idea how to do that or what it looks like because I got the account for free because I didn't want to pay without knowing what AllAuthor was all about. I didn't want to make the investment. I wanted to see if I liked it first. Um, so how much is AllAuthor? The free account allows you to add up to 4 of your books, and you get listed in the author directory, and you have access to their Twitter schedule for up to 100 tweets, which does me no good because I deactivated my Twitter account a long time ago. But if you pay for the membership, you get access to all the services, all the tools. You can get an author interview by or from AllAuthor, and obviously you get to customize your profile. Again, I don't know how if any of those things are good or not because I didn't pay. The membership costs $69 and it's valid for only 6 months. Now, I will say, when we kind of shit on AllAuthor in episode 252, if I remember correctly, when we were looking at AllAuthor, it only cost $59 every 6 months. So in the past 6 months, because when I joined, I'm pretty sure it cost the $59 when I joined the free account. And I joined in like late October, early November. And at the time we're recording this, it is April of 2025. So in only a couple of months, they increased it by $10. Now, I will say that they added the featuring your book to the pro membership, which is $24. Well, no, it's $29 now. I paid $24, but I'll get to that in a minute. It's $29. So if you get the membership for $69 instead of paying the $29 for featuring your book, you're technically getting it for $10, which I guess is a pretty good deal. And the 6 month is not a subscription, which is also nice. So if you don't want it all the time or you just want that 6 months to promote your latest release or something, you can just pay the $69 and be done with it. If you want to have it for the full year, which would be around like $138 a year, you'd have to manually, you know, renew it and stuff. But the thing is, if you don't decide to renew after 6 months and you spent all that time customizing your profile and you go back to the free version, would you lose all that customization? I have no idea. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a sticky loophole, if you will. I don't know if it would keep all of that stuff or if you would have to redo it every single time you renew your membership. But what I did find out, I know paying $69 twice a year sounds like a lot and it's your only option. But because I do have a free account, if I go into my account settings, I actually have the option to upgrade to a pro membership for the $69 or annually for $99, which I also think is kind of nice to give their current customers a discount rather than constantly trying to give newcomers a discount and trying to entice them in. Like they're rewarding people who have already used their platform with a discount, which I like.
Yeah, kind of. It's an interesting concept. I like the idea, as you said, of it not being a subscription. Although I can also imagine it being, if it's something you have to manually then go, oh, I need to carry it on. I can imagine it being, for those of us who are a little bit more scattered, we could end up missing it.
Well, that's the thing. If we miss it, do we lose all of our customization?
Yeah, because
I
again,
don't
it might be one of
understand
those
how that
things.
actually works.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where it's like it stores it for like 30 days. And then, like if you delete something, often it's like in 30 days it'll be gone. If you want to re-add, recreate it or reactivate it, that's the word. You can do that and blah blah blah. So it could be that. But yeah, I think I would want to know if you spent all this time doing all this extra stuff and then missed a month because, something went wrong and you didn't have the money for that time, whether if you then came back, you would be it'd be like no. Or if there's some way of like saving it, like downloading it maybe, and then you can maybe re-upload it. So I think finding that out would be quite useful.
And maybe
Um,
they have the answer to this in their FAQs or something, and I just didn't see it because I didn't look at their FAQs or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's already answered and we're just speculating for nothing. But do your
I
research, people. If
mean,
you want to join AllAuthor, do your research before you join or before you give them money, I should say.
did you notice was it just a 6 month fee? Or was there a possibility to pay a year and have a discount? Because a lot of places do that where it's like, yeah, 6 months is like, 70 quid. But if you buy it for a year, it is 110 quid. It's me trying to do quick math. It's like, wait, what's under?
Only if you have an account already. Because when I joined before when I tried making my account, I had two options, free or the $69 for 6 months. Those were my only two options. And then when I got the account, I was looking in my account settings for some reason, and the billing part of it popped up to say, do you want to upgrade to Pro for $69 for 6 months, or do you want to upgrade to Pro for a year for $99? So if you already have the account, you can technically get a discount and pay for the full year.
Yeah, so that's something then. I don't know if you know this because you said about how if you pay for it, you get like the tweets. Even if you don't pay for it, you still get some tweets, don't you? I think. Did you say that?
It's a tweet scheduler, so they don't do it for
Schedule.
you. You just have access to like a
Oh,
scheduler.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But
So yeah, so
it
it's
says
it's
up to 100 tweets. I don't know if you have 100 tweets for the full 6 months. Or if it's
ah
100 tweets like and it refreshes each month. I don't know. I'm assuming it's 100 tweets for the full 6 months. Again, I can't try it because I don't
yeah.
have Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's things like that where you sort of start ticking off 'cause it's like if you're paying for this sort of membership and there's like several things you get, but some of those things you don't use, then you're like, okay, it's like how much is it worth if I had to do that myself and had to do that myself? So yeah, it's I mean, is anyone still on Twitter? I know technically my account's still there, but I haven't touched it in like 3 years, 4 years. So
I don't know because they gatekeep it now. If you try to look on, if you don't have a Twitter account or an X account, you can't look at anybody's profile or anything because it'll just pop up and say, do you want to make an account? And if I exit out of it or say no, everything gets exited out. So I genuinely don't know.
it's just a big. I mean, to be fair, and we're just gonna quickly segue into a random tangent. I mean, there's so much wrong with Twitter and everything, and I'm gonna keep calling it freaking Twitter because X sounds so stupid. It sounds like a porn site, you know? And also the concept, the Twitter, the little bird, people tweeting, it was fun and playful. And I know, don't get me wrong, it was also a giant dumpster fire in other ways, and there was some absolute garbage on there, some awful people. But it's just got worse. It's not got better, it's got worse. And then calling it X, getting rid of the cute little bird. I mean, seriously, just bad thought in every way. But that's just a separate tangent. We'll go back to AllAuthor. I can't think of anything I wanted to ask. Carry on.
Well, you know what? I'll stick with the whole tweet thing. It is kind of funny because they rebranded and there's so many companies that did not rebrand. Like you still see the Twitter bird icon on their social medias, on their websites and stuff like that. Nobody uses it. Everybody still says tweet and whatever. But anyway, one of the things you can do on AllAuthor is feature your book. And this is another payment thing. Again, you can now get a pro membership for $69 and it'll include the feature your book. But I have the free account. Forgot the word account for a second, but I have a free account, so I had to pay to get my book featured. And I almost didn't do it, but I was like, what the hell? Might as well give it a shot. Now, featuring your book costs $29 and it lasts for 6 months. When I did it at like the end of October, and at that time it was only $24. So they went up in price in the past like 5, 6 months or whatever. And when you feature your book, it includes a weekly mock-up for book promotion. So you get like they create mock-ups for your book, and you'll get like 24 of them total. Because I think if I can do math right, 6 times 4 is 24. And they will also tweet promotions across their 4 Twitter accounts. I don't know why they have 4 Twitter accounts. I I don't know. And you also get access to one of their tools, which is usually a pro member thing, but you can get their review gift maker for free. And I'll talk about that real quick. It's not great. I tried using the gift maker to create like the review gifts, and there is zero customization for it. You type in your book's title, where the review came from, and up to 150 words of the review, and it'll automatically generate the GIF. And it looks nice, don't get me wrong, but they all look exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the words that you choose. And you can customize the text color, but they only give you 7 color options. You can't even put in your own hex code. So if you want to make a GIF for your reviews, if you're looking for variety, you might as well look elsewhere. You could probably do the same thing on BookBrush. You can do the same thing on Canva. There's really AllAuthor. It's just, again, there's no variety. So I didn't care for it. And to be honest, I don't even think I would ever use it once because, again, I can recreate what they did in Canva and make it better. So there's that. But also your book for the featured book, your book for an extra $10, you can feature your book on AllAuthor's homepage for 15 days. If you go on allauthor.com, you'll be greeted with like a mosaic, a collage, whatever you want to call it, of a bunch of different book covers. So that's what that is. For 15 days, if you pay an extra $10 when featuring your book cover will appear there. Hooray. So I did that too. I don't know if it did anything, but it looked cool. So, you know. So overall, it would be $39, but again, I paid 34.
I'm just on AllAuthor and I'm seeing the like mass of book covers. And obviously there's only a certain amount of space 'cause it's not like a giant it's not like, scroll down, there's loads of book covers. It's literally what on my desktop, it's 3 lines of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 3 lines of 9. So obviously if lots of authors are paying, they're constantly changing. I'm literally watching them. So the book cover will stay up for a little bit and then it'll vanish and then another one will come up. And I've just looked and one of them's come up 3 times and another one's come up 3 times and several books have vanished. So that's a little weird. It's not like it's, because let's be honest, if you're going to AllAuthor, you're not spending all the time looking at this grid of book covers. You're going to go on, see it, you might cast your eye over it a few times, and then you're going to go and do whatever you're going to do. Fill it in, go and find an author, whatever. And because the books aren't staying up constantly. It's not like, right, well, your book could be there and somebody's book could be there. They keep flicking it on and off, and different books keep appearing and taking place of each other. You might literally have paid, people might pay for that, and it might be that just as people are coming on, your book's vanished. So I think if it was static, or if it went down the further, you could scroll down, or even if there was like a show me a book button, like a explore a discovery button, and it kind of brought them up, or even a carousel that they all went round. I don't know.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you scroll down, you got to keep scrolling past the list of latest authors. It'll actually show you a list of all the featured books.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, I would not have thought to go. I'll be honest, when I came on it, I saw the books at the top that were, vanishing and reappearing. I started scrolling and it's like, follow our authors. And I got like three scrolls in, or two scrolls in, and thought, oh, it's just a list of people. I'll go back up. I didn't even consider going further
Yeah,
down. So I would have
exactly.
missed all these books.
Yep.
That's actually better. I'm looking at it now. It's like, right, everyone, I can see everyone's book that's there. Nothing's moving. You've got the author's name, very title of the book. That's better. I feel like that should probably have been above the latest authors, if you ask me.
Yes. No, I agree. And I mean, even at the top with them fading in and out, you can click on the specific book covers and it'll take you to the book page. But you got to be quick.
What's weird though is, as I said, when I first came on, all the books look different. And now, while I'm standing watching it, there's two of the same book have appeared, and then another two of the same book. So it almost looks a little glitchy. I don't think it is, but the fact that a few books have turned up two or three times next to each other, and it's not like book one, book two, it's just the same book cover. It just looks glitchy.
Well, it leaves me to wonder if people have realized that that particular part of featuring their book isn't worth it. Because if so many of the same, if the same book is popping up, like one right after the other, like it tells me that they don't have enough books to cycle through.
A minute ago, the whole grid was full of books. Now there's an empty space, and three books have got the same title. And I guarantee they weren't there. There was not all three books on there with the same title a minute ago, which means that some of them must be moving out and not being replaced with others that have already been on there. It's really odd. Oh, now we've got two black spaces. So that definitely means there's some books missing.
Well, yeah, either the code is messing up or they don't have enough books to cycle through however long they wanted the cycle to go for. And if they don't have a lot of people, a lot of books, and a lot of people must not be paying that $10 to get it featured on the homepage, which again makes me wonder if so many authors have tried it and realized it doesn't actually do anything for them, so they just don't do it. So the people on the homepage are probably newer authors being like, oh yeah, put me on the homepage, because that's what I did. And I probably wouldn't pay that extra $10 again, because again, I don't think it really did anything. And that's the thing with AllAuthor. Maybe it's different if I had a pro membership, but aside from my profile views, I have no idea. There's no way for me to track if anybody has actually clicked on my buy links or clicked on my book links. There's no way for me to track that. Like the Amazon link that they share, like on their Twitter account, and I'll get to that in a minute, it's kind of like a bit.ly link, but it's an AllAuthor universal link. So it says like allauthor.amazon.com or whatever it is. So I'm sure they're tracking it, but I can't see that. And again, maybe if I had a membership, like I paid for the membership, maybe I would be able to see that. But as a free person, I'm in the dark. I got no clue.
I was just thinking of something while you were talking. I was listening, but while you were talking. And then I went to check it. And because I was thinking about there's a few authors I know who have more than one pen name. And I thought, do you have to buy two profiles? And I've just checked. And apparently you can attach two pen names to a single account. However, because like you said, you can amend your profile and kind of brand it a little bit, they recommend that you actually use separate ones. And I thought, well, they would recommend that, especially if you're paying, because then you're paying twice.
It would be nice if they gave people with a pen name a discount, but then again, you'd have to well, no, they'd have to publish a book, so they'd have to prove that it's their actual pen name, but oh, I don't know. That's interesting.
I mean, there are some really good positives. I do like the fact that your free account isn't like you've got a free account for 16 days. It's it's free for as long as you want it. That's kind of good. And the author directory is quite cool. And if you're not good, used to making things with Canva and the GIF maker works for you, although what you said about it being all the same as everybody else kind of blurs, then it's almost like one person's thing rather than individual.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have your background be like an opacity of like a transparent of your book cover, and then it has your book cover next to it, and then the review gets like typed in, and that's the GIF part, that's the animation. So it's technically it differentiates between everybody else, but if you do multiple, like there's no option to even say to include like the rating. So you can't even say it was a 5-star review or it was a 4-star review.
I have to admit, for what you get, I'm not so sure I'd be willing to pay for that, especially as you said, wouldn't use this, wouldn't use that. So then when you start ticking things off you wouldn't use, you're paying a lot more for what you would.
Right, exactly. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I have the free account, and I'm happy with the free account. It's not like I'm gonna go delete my all author account, even though I don't really go on there as often, and maybe I don't utilize it as well as I should. But overall, all author for me is just it's kind of a hit or miss. Um, would I feature my book again when I release Happily Ever After Life? Probably not. Because with the featuring your book, I mean, and we're almost done talking about this, I promise. One of the things you get for featuring your book is they will send you a weekly mock-up for your book promotion. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will post a couple of slides upcoming so that you can actually see the pictures and stuff because they're kind of hard to explain. The first slide shows 3 mock-ups that AllAuthor made for me. And when I first got them, I was like, what the hell is this? They have nothing to do with my book. In 2 of the pictures, the book cover is all stretched out and they just make no sense. Now, I realized I had made a mistake. I didn't realize that when they give you the mock-ups, you can choose what templates you want them to create for you. So after I received those 3, I finally read the email and realized I could choose templates. So the next slide, these next 4 pictures show a couple of the templates that I picked, and they are much, much better. No, you haven't seen any of these on social media because I haven't been on social media lately. So they've been sitting in my inbox, but I do like them and I will use them eventually. So in that sense, featuring your book and getting these free mock-ups, 24 mock-ups, I mean, that's pretty good. A weekly mock-up. And once you actually choose the templates that have to do with your book and its contents, like as you can see, I chose a lot of ones that have like beverages because that's a key point in Apparitions Anonymous. So I think they did come out well. Again, would I pay to feature my next book and get these weekly mock-ups again? I don't know because I'm on Canva a lot and Canva has mock-ups and I could create them myself and I could take my own pictures and I could do it myself. So I don't know if I would pay for it again. Does it save me time? Yeah, absolutely. So, take that as you will.
I think that's it. If you're not used to Canva, if you don't have a Canva account and you're not in the mood to get Canva, I can see it being quite helpful to have mock-ups because those ones that you had that look great with the coffee and everything, they really popped. And if you don't want to be learning how to do mock-ups yourself, brilliant. But as you said, Canva does mock-ups and you can build the elements yourself. It's not a case of I'm picking this mock-up and sticking my book in it. You can add elements and shadowing and change pieces out and build your own mock-ups like from the ground up almost, which makes them more unique than other mock-ups that, 50,000 other authors have used.
Well, that, I mean, brings up a good point. Obviously, these templates are on AllAuthor for everybody to choose from. So the only difference is that it's my book cover instead of theirs. So again, with customization, if I really wanted to, I could put this image in Canva and add text to it, and I could create my own animation for the text, and boom, I have a GIF, a review GIF. So, you could customize these images as well, but the actual background and where your book cover actually is, whether it's on a tablet or it's like a paperback mock-up, that you can't change.
Yeah, yeah, that's something. I just had a quick scan of all author because apparently you can create an author account or a reader account. So some readers are on there. And apparently, according to their stats, as of this recording, there is over 500,000 readers, or at least reader accounts. Now, we don't know if they're active accounts or whatnot, but when you compare that to 31,000 plus authors, those are pretty decent numbers. Still not sure whether it would be like the main place I would have thought readers find books. I have never come across a reader account on Instagram or any other social media platform that mentioned AllAuthor, whereas you do hear them mention Goodreads and things and Storygraph and everything. Is it Storygraph? But I've never heard any reader mention AllAuthor. Now, obviously, the stats say over 500,000 readers are on there, so maybe the idea of having a free account, even if you don't pay, even if you just use it as, hey, your name's out there again. If someone Googles you, there's another platform you can be found on that's got your bio, that's got your bio links. The more places you can be found, the better. Especially nowadays when things are getting, so many people are out there and it's harder to find people. The more places where if somebody Googles you, if Google freaking works, you can get found. It's not a bad idea. Whether it's worth paying for the membership, I think that definitely comes down to individual authors looking into everything they get and then making those decisions based on their own requirements for what they want for marketing. But yeah, just looking at the figures, 95,000 plus books, 89 million page views. And I think founded in 2016. So it's quite a young platform compared to some of the other ones. So, and obviously it might still be growing and everything, but yeah, yeah, okay, maybe a free account is a pretty good idea for authors.
Well, that's the thing. I think having a free account is useful, even just to get your name, like, and have your name on the platform and stuff like that. But I don't know if I would ever upgrade to a membership. I feel like if I were to upgrade to the membership, it would be because my books are making a profit and I have $69 to spare. But even like with the featuring your books, you get four things with that. You get the mock-ups. Those weren't bad once you choose your templates. You get access to the review gift maker, which I wouldn't use. You can pay extra to get your book feature, which I wouldn't use again. So right there, two out of the four things I wouldn't bother utilizing. Now, the fourth thing we didn't talk about, and that's their tweet promotion. And they sent me an email like a long time ago, and it was a list of 10 Twitter messages that I could use to promote my book, that they may use. And some of the tweets, they're not bad. Like they're not bad log lines. Like one of them they gave me was life and death are not opposites but two sides of the same coin. I actually really like that line. That's pretty damn good. But they used those 10 tweets to promote my book on their four different Twitter accounts. And again, I don't know why they have four different Twitter accounts. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, here's another slide of some images. I know they're kind of small. I was trying to fit them all on one slide and, don't come at me. But here's a couple of the tweets that they posted across three of their accounts. Some of the tweets, when I tried clicking on it, it said that it couldn't be found. So I don't know if they deleted that fourth account or what. I tried Googling it and I found it. I don't know where the tweets went. Now, again, I can't click on their profiles because I don't have an X account and X gatekeeps. So I know that they have like a few thousand followers, but if you look at these tweets, you'll notice that there is zero engagement, no retweets, no likes, no comments. There's not even a whole lot of views. Three of these images have the same message, and two of those are for the same account. And they were posted less than 10 days apart. To me, not worth it. Not the tweeter, not the tweeter, not the Twitter scheduler or their promotion of it. I think the only thing that's worth it for the featuring your book is the mock-up. And for $29 for 24 mock-ups, if that's worth it to you, then sure, go for it. But I don't know if I would do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that they're still using Twitter. I mean, it has been losing interest. I know there are still a lot of people on there, and it does still have a large author, a large audience. But as you said, unless you're logged in, then you can't read anything, whereas at least you could before. It's very fast. I think something like tweets last for like something like 18 minutes before they move down the line. It's not very visual. You can put pictures on there, but it's mostly text based. It's mostly fast, quippy little things. And as writers, yes, we use writing and text and everything, but when people are promoting their books, it's usually graphics, book covers, unboxing videos. It's something a bit bigger than what Twitter has. So I'm surprised that they're going, hey, we've got 4 Twitter accounts. It's like, okay, maybe add an Instagram in there, maybe add a TikTok, because TikTok's been pretty good for our authors. It just feels weird that they're putting all their eggs in the Twitter basket. You see, tied it to the bird thing. That's not a thing anymore. So I'm a bit surprised about that.
Well, that's the thing. If you go on allauthor.com and you scroll all the way down to their footer, their social media accounts, it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Instagram. And they did post my book on their Instagram. But again, it was very similar to Twitter. They made like the one post months ago and it had like no engagement. It has one comment, and that was me to say thank you.
Okay, so that's something at least, because I think because a lot of things are visual, or at least that seems to be the way things are. Having it on Instagram makes sense, but just looking at their Instagram page, I think I'm on the correct one. Is it just all author? There is only 6,500 followers, which I would have thought for an author platform would have been bigger, if I'm honest. And it's not like an authorized account, with a little tick, which again I would have thought it would have.
Maybe they don't utilize their Instagram all that often because it's not as popular. Maybe their Twitter accounts are more popular. But I don't know why they have so many Twitter accounts. And they're all the same. I don't get it.
It's so weird. Like I literally on their Instagram and I'm looking through and I'm like, oh, that's a nice book. Oh, that looks a good book. That looks a good book. So I am being drawn in more by their Instagram, and I'm not going to log into Twitter. Now, again, obviously, there's loads of people on Twitter. I'm sure they'll find it, but Instagram images last longer as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a little surprised that it's not an authorized account and that they've not got more followers. So everyone who's mentioned it that I've seen, they've mentioned Twitter. They haven't mentioned Instagram. So just a thought, just some thoughts.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think, I mean, I created the free account just because I felt bad that we said some not so nice things about it in episode 252, and I figured, hey, I let me do this experiment and I'll check it out so you guys don't have to. Or maybe by me checking it out, you guys realized, wow, All Author sounds really good and I want to get on it. So, I mean, overall, should you go on All Author? Again, that's up to you. For me, it's a hit or miss. I'm happy with the free account. I probably won't be upgrading, and I may or may not feature my book on there again, but at least I have the account. And I mean, again, maybe I'm not utilizing it as well as I should. So that could be part of it too. I'm also a small indie author. Maybe if I was bigger, I'd be able to utilize it more. I don't know. It's all up to you. Am I upset that I got a free account and that I spent the money to feature my book? No, I'm not. I still got something out of it. So again, totally up to you. And see where All Author takes you. Maybe you'll have better luck than me.
Yeah, I agree. I think at least a free account isn't a bad idea. If you don't have a website, you could certainly use it as a mini website to draw people in, put it on your Instagram or your link tree or anything like that. I think that would be quite useful. You could always spend a bit of time mooching on All Author and see what other people have done for their profiles, how they've utilized things and their marketing. That's what you're supposed to do. Research and see how other people have used All Author that may be more beneficial. But yeah, I think our takeaway from it is the free version is definitely not a problem. I think it's pretty good to get your name on a different platform, especially one that's literally called author in the title, That's pretty good. And it does seem to have quite a lot of readers on there. Again, we don't know how active they are, but it is something that's 500,000 people are on there for such a youngish, I say youngish, we're in 2025. Oh my God. Youngish in the sense of certain things like Facebook. But yeah, I think paid. I don't think I would pay for it. Rachel wouldn't pay for it. But in the end, it definitely comes down to checking it yourself and figuring out what you would be willing to pay. And could it be cheaper paying for those individual things somewhere else might end up cheaper for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that wraps it up nicely. Ultimately, it's up to you if you want to go on AllAuthor or not, if you want to pay or not. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it was a little different than what we usually do because we don't usually do little experiments like this, but I hope it helped. I hope you got something out of it. But before we leave, if you want to learn more about us, the podcast, and opportunities to be a guest on the show, don't forget to check out our website at themerrywriterpodcast.podbean.com. And now we'll turn it over to you guys. Are you on AllAuthor, and what are your thoughts about it? Let us know your answers in the comments and we'll chat about it. Remember, we release a new episode every Wednesday. Next week, we're discussing AI in the industry. So to ensure you don't miss it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. As always, thanks for listening to the Merry Writer Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. This podcast is brought to you by Shiny Objects. We're easily distracted. The music, titled Inspired, is by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons 4.0.